The Apocalypse players present An Uncommon Burial. A Call of Cthulhu 7th edition scenario written by Danann McAleer in the style of M.R. James. With Joseph Chance as Dr. Henry Carraig-Muire, Dan Wheeler as Reverend Perregrine McCutcheon, Dominic Helen as Lady Helen Marjorie Bjarmia Potts, and Danann McAleer as the Keeper of Arcane Lore. Part 3. Where Faith Lies.
I look across at the figure of Theodore Pew, covered in his own blood. A man has been murdered by something. I trust my companions. I believe that what they saw is real. But there is a nagging doubt in my mind. I wonder, is it possible that the owl haunts us all? I've dreamt about those faces, those curious eyes, the terrible nature of what the owl is. Somehow known and yet unknown, an alien creature studying you with a wild hunter's intelligence, a beast of the night. Oh, not understandable like a wolf is, or even the crawling creatures of the earth, the stoat or the weasel. No. This is a bird. This is a bird of prey. But it hunts during the night and it calls. The way it calls in the darkness. But I can't think like that. I didn't see it. They saw it. I didn't. I know they believe they saw it.
Well, you turn, and as you start running, you see a man-sized owl, a face, an owl, bright red eyes, and this pointed head just pass out sideways between the door, black feathers down to the ground, facing you. Yeah, and you realise, even in the spitting firelight, you realise it must be a mask, but it looks so real. It looks like a man's body with an owl's head, but an owl that is just directly facing you as it passes the room sideways.
Fucking hell. This is horrible.
It goes towards the door that you came in through. It's still moving, it's still in your room.
I think before I know what I do, I probably need to roll my sanity.
In the meantime, I'm desperate to save this man's life.
Yes.
And so I am going to push the first aid.
It's walking very silently. If you hadn't turned, you wouldn't have seen it.
I strengthen. I've whipped. What's easiest? My jacket. I've taken my jacket off, and I'm putting it around his neck. So it's either going to garrote him or it's going to staunch the bleeding.
I mean, either way.
I'm not...
It's not going to do more harm, I don't think.
Fuck me.
That's a 90 on my pushed roll. So I'm afraid to say I think I'm currently strangling this man.
What happens is, like, your coat sort of... You think you're putting enough... You tighten it a bit and it actually slips between the wound itself and, like, widens
like
the
flossing
gap.
your gums.
Like, yeah. It's like a cheese wire.
So,
yeah, exactly, like a cheese wire.
Yeah.
No.
And he just... And you realise... That's his vocal cords gone. Even if he was to survive, you ain't getting any more information out of this guy. His eyes start rolling back, and there's just pooling dark blood on the floor. And for the other two of you, how did you do on your sanity roll as this owl figure slowly, silently crosses the room, facing the entire
Luckily,
time?
I passed. Unbelievable.
You're going to like
18.
this. You're going to like this a lot.
Oh,
yeah.
fumbled. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
It's 99
No,
out of
it's
100.
just really nice because I started this session on a 56 and I rolled a 56.
Oh.
But do you remember I lost 1 point of sanity?
Oh, fuck, yeah, of course.
Because you
of
asked.
Little Waltzing.
Because you asked for a sanity roll. You maniac.
Do I need to roll?
Yeah.
Do I need to roll for that?
So I've failed by 1 point, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I don't mind. I don't mind doing a sanity roll at the mention of Little Walsingham. It's early days. We're not going to see a 6 foot fucking owl in a minute. It's killed a man.
While we're having a chat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're just having a little
think
chat.
Yeah, just a little chatette.
No,
Session.
God damn it, no! And I just keep pulling and pulling and like, no, I can't lose you yet. No, don't die on me. And I'm pulling and I'm pulling.
And I think it's the combination of that sound, the garrotting sound, the image of his neck opening up like a puppet's mouth, and then turning and seeing this owl just sort of crossing the room with its red, bloodshot-looking eyes just locked onto you, this sort of tall figure. And I think you lose sanity. Yeah, you lose a point of sanity again.
Am I all right?
But I think you're all right, because
In that case, I'd like to do a Cthulhu mythos roll.
yeah,
I just lose one, do I, for this horrible owl beast?
yeah.
Oh, great.
Is that a wall?
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
To be fair, that reminds me. I should check on. Cthulhu Mythos, but later. I'll do that.
yes.
I've rolled.
Yeah.
I've rolled a 12 on my 10 Cthulhu mythos. So I'm going to spend 2 points of luck
Okay,
and pass
Great.
my Cthulhu mythos roll.
What are you
excellent.
trying to do, John?
Just understand.
Understand.
Just
Know what we're dealing with.
okay, great.
Fucking hell.
Is it the putu, Dan? You'll know. Potu, the South American bird that's like huge black eyes and a massive like Muppet
Oh,
mouth.
another one you
I think
mean.
it's called a potu or a putu or something like that, but
Yeah,
I remember.
I know the one you mean, but I can't think what it's called. Maybe you're right, maybe it is.
What I'll say is your pass on your Cthulhu mythos. You think of like, I mean, I guess it's that tricky thing, isn't it? Because I'm sort of merging Jamesian folklore with like actual mythos, but you think of the owlman of Mornan. You think of the owlman. You've heard legends of this owlman up on the North Yorkshire coast before. This giant sort of half-man hybrid owl figure that some people worship and some people don't. You think of the fact that the owl is like a herald of death and all that stuff, and you're thinking all this as you're staring into these bright blood red eyes of this huge face just sort of crossing across the room without turning once from you, and you realise that okay, this is the thing is, yeah, you also remember that in the north, within the moors of Yorkshire, a lot of the time you think back to like things you've heard about, like Mother Shipton, people like that, and that you know, certain witches, like soothsayers, could shapeshift, could turn into owls. There's a weird crossover between men who were cursed to become dogs, black dogs, things like that, and the women who would curse them, who themselves would turn into hares, turn into owls, turn into other creatures like that. And you have a flashback memory at the same time of that hare when you were in the fog just before you discovered the Reverend, that ran between your legs out towards the coast and turned back in the half light and looked like it was smiling and almost winked at you. And you remember that suddenly, and all you can think is shapeshifters, you know, witchcraft, hybrid men, hybrid owls, men, hares, all of that comes back to you, and it's all linked to that area. But as this is all flashing through your head, and as Perregrine, as Carraig-Muire is sort of desperately trying to ungarrot poor Theodore on the floor, and as Perregrine is losing a moment of sanity at just the horror of, I think the witnessing of this horrible, strange death that was so sort of sudden, and also this huge sort of animalistic figure moving across the room, you see, as it reaches the door, extend a wing, and a human hand, painted black, is revealed, and it pulls open the door and disappears through. And you suddenly realise that's why you only take 1 hit point for that moment, because it's more about the death and the shock, because you suddenly realise at the last, you think it must be a mask.
Someone wearing a costume.
You think it must be a mask. But it was so realistic and the eyes looked so real. So I don't know what anyone would like to do in that moment. Carraig-Muire, I don't think you've even seen the thing, because it was moving so softly, so silently.
Too busy trying and failing and making worse, trying to save the man's life. Sadly, not the first time that's happened to me.
I think I can't help myself. I run to the door. I run after it.
Great. Lovely.
Come back.
Reverend, no.
Come back.
Well, would you like to... you're trying to chase, right?
Yeah.
Or are you just trying to get to the top of the stairs and see if you can see a glimpse? Are you actually trying to...
Yeah, that really.
Yeah.
I think I was frozen for a bit as it passed through the door, and then maybe the hand slipping out made me think, oh, it's a person. I need to catch that person, but I don't know to do what. But so I... Yeah.
Well, so you manage to reach the sort of the banisters down towards the porter's floor where it goes out into the street, and you throw your head over it. No, wait. And as you do, you just see this. It is like this huge shadowy figure beneath you. It's already at the bottom of the, it's turned the corner. It's at the bottom of the other flight of stairs. Must have jumped them, and it sort of just looks up at you. And again, you're just struck with the realness of these bloodshot red eyes staring up at you, and you think the hand was black as well. It was a glove. It must have been a glove.
But what do the eyes look like? Do they look like human, very red human eyes, or do they look like owl eyes?
Could you give me... It's a very brief moment. Could maybe a spot hidden just to see any detail at the moment? Is that fair?
Yeah, definitely.
If it's fair to say.
That's really good. That's really, really good. It's almost an extreme, but I think it's just a hard.
Wow. Great. So what you see in that moment, I think it's because you've had this moment of shock, and then you've seen the black hand or glove painted, maybe. It's hard to tell, but you suddenly realise, no, it can't be. It can't be. And you rush, and in that moment where you call out, no, stop, and it looks up, you see very vividly, and the image stays with you. It's like a photographic snapshot moment. You see that they must be human eyes that are bloodshot, because actually you see that there's just very clever painting around the feathered, what must be a mask. It's just whitened and yellowed towards the centre, and it's the human eyes inside that look bloodshot.
I see.
And injured really, to the point, or maybe like someone you've found on opium. Or maybe when you found Dr. Henry that first time in his room, having taken it, the real deep red of someone there's a damage there. You wonder whether burning, but maybe not. But it's human. That's the main thing you glean. It's someone in...
I just yell, Billy!
Oh, but it's passed away. All you hear... It doesn't die, I don't mean that. You hear... you don't hear a sound other than the door being kicked open downstairs.
Okay.
But...
That's just weirdly all I can think when I see these damaged eyes wearing this owl outfit. And then even after it's gone, I just say to myself, Billy Crow.
And I've walked up. I walk up behind Dr. Carraig-Muire and gently put a hand on his shoulder, and I say very quietly, we'll tell them that he brought us here to be witnesses to his suicide, and we weren't quick enough to stop him. That's what we have to say.
I think that's a sanity roll, because she's brought me back to reality.
Yeah.
And it's a for a moment I was there trying to save Abdul Bakit, and it was much better to be in the Sudan
than here.
You didn't save him then, and you haven't saved him now.
Yeah, I haven't saved him now. It's not the physical horror of him being murdered that I am threatened by. It's the It's the thrust back to reality. A 45 and a 53. I've held that together.
Okay.
The keeper of the Oster reading room.
Well, you didn't see this owl figure.
No.
And also you have a military experience package, so I think you don't have to lose any sanity there, because although you snap back to that memory, that's something you've gone through many, many times, and it's part of your experience, But I do think you maybe... Do you come to at that point? You realise he's not...
I think I say, no, why don't we just say it's an assassin? It's clever, I don't... Where's Pip?
You turn back, you briefly glance back to the floor, you see he's immobile now. He's clearly lost.
In the horror of war, I've moved on.
Yes, yeah.
And in that way, the risk was Marjorie saved me. But it was at the risk of putting me back, and there could have been turbulence. But she's pulled me back, and now we're talking tactics.
It was...
Why not say it's an assassin?
It was an assassin. Did you see it? You didn't see it.
No.
It was...
It? What do you mean, him? You mean him?
No.
No, you mean him. Or her.
Henry.
Don't.
It was...
Marjorie.
It was an owl. It was...
God damn it.
It was an owl man.
No, it wasn't.
You've got to believe...
As you're saying this, you hear up the stairs
serious.
A voice saying, everything all right up there? Theo? You had one too many brandies again? Just remember we've got neighbours, all right? You don't need any help, do you?
He's done something terrible to himself. Don't let any of the boys up here.
Don't let...
Or any of the girls, I say.
Well, I should... What, you want me to lock the door, sir?
Lock the door. Lock the door.
I'll be up in a moment. And you hear a sort of sound of like...
I just look at Dominic. I just look at Marjorie. And I just look at Dominic.
Look at a photo of Dominic, and then you turn to Marjorie and say...
Marjorie, Dominic, Marjorie.
Reverend?
Where's Pip?
Reverend?
Where's Pip?
Are you there?
Billy. Two bodies, he said. Just two bodies.
What do you say? Billy?
2 bodies. He said they only found 2 bodies in the guest house.
It can't be. It was an owl man. Are you telling me that was Crow?
It was a man. It was a man. He had a human hand, human eyes. It was a costume. I say, mainly for myself.
You said Billy. You said Billy when you came in. You said Billy.
Maybe not. Maybe.
Why did you think it was... No, he died. He's dead. He must be dead.
They found no body. They found 2 bodies, he said.
I break one of the brandy glasses while they're talking about this. I loosen my jacket, so it looks like I have not strangled him, but that I've been trying to help him. And then I break one of the brandy glasses, and I clumsily put it in his hand, and I take the piece of glass, and I put it in my pocket.
Okay. And you start to hear, you're hearing this door being locked downstairs, and you're still hearing the odd, I'll be up, just 2 seconds. And
when he says that, I go, we've got to make this look right.
Yes.
And I take my jacket off, and I stab him in the throat with the brandy glass.
Yes, good. Come quick!
And then I do it again.
Come quickly!
And then I do it again.
I shout, come quickly! Something terrible has happened!
And then I grab his trousers, and I sort of wipe my hands on the trousers and on the jacket, and I make it look like I'm trying to save him.
Yes, you be down there. You be down there helping. I'll stand over here aghast.
Can you pass me my bag?
Yes.
Just pass me my bag.
Open the bag. Make it look like you've been doing something.
Oh, good.
I start pouring out bandages. Quick. Reverend, pray or something.
Yes. And I snap out of it, and I sort of step back into the room and stand near the body and begin muttering some sort of very Church of England low-key prayer.
And so, what, do you press the glass into his hand?
Yeah, I'm making it look like a suicide.
Great.
Bjarmia is helping it look like I'm trying to save him, and the last rites, or that is to say, the.
So are you all sort of gathered round him to make it look like you're...
Oh, but as soon as he comes through the door, I'm going to rush over to him.
Yes,
I'm going to decide that's my
for
role.
this moment, you're making it look like you're all trying to care for him to make sure he doesn't die, right? Pip, can you give me spot hidden?
There's another one. There's another owl. Oh, God. I can't do with 2 owls in the shadows.
I'm going to spend 3 points of luck to make that a success.
Okay, cool. As you're doing this and you're...
Dom is literally checking the wardrobe for owls.
As you're doing this, and Bjarmia is spilling out bandages from the doctor's bag, and the doctor's, he's finished glassing him in the throat, Begbie style, and you're sort of starting to deliver the last rites in some sort of tone that will at least be audible before the porter makes his way up the stairs, and it's all a frantic moment. Yeah. You look at the glass being pressed into his hand by Carraig-Muire to make it look like a self thing, and you see a glint of a gold ring, and you immediately recognise the symbol on it, the signet ring, and it's a Vegvasir, the Viking compass.
Stop! I stop praying and I say, "The ring! Take the ring! Get the ring! Get his ring!"
What? All right.
Take his ring off! Take his ring off!
The ring. I start checking his fingers, but at the same time, I'm trying to.
Who has suffered badly.
I'm trying to prepare my own opium pipe.
Himself onto you
at the same time.
Your hands are, and all his hands are slippery with blood. And could you do me, if Carraig-Muire, if it's you trying to do it, could you do me a dex roll just to see if you manage to do it in time, because the porter's almost at the top of the stairs and you're slipping on the blood.
Well, I was going to try and prepare my own opium pipe, and I feel like that is my greatest compulsion at this point. So that's probably why I failed so spectacularly on the 89 on my 65.
So you're trying to, and your hand just slips.
Can I push it? Can I push the roll?
I mean, feel free, yeah. You hear the top steps sort of starting to creak, so you know you've only got moments. So, well, until he's here, you might still be able to convince him to go again, but for now, this moment is you push or you don't. Pip seems... Perregrine seems...
I can see the ring, right?
You can see the signet ring.
Can I offer it? Because my plan is, as soon as he walks through the door, I'm going to rush towards him and waylay him in a kind of hysterical way, like instead of encouraging him in, I'm going to be preparing him mentally for what he's about to see.
Be careful, it's like a crime scene in there.
Something terrible's happened. He went wild and he started saying things about his guilt. He had all this guilt because he'd sent Robert to his death, and now he wanted us as witnesses.
I'm going to use my teeth to pull the ring off.
Oh my God.
And as I bite into the skin slightly...
And he only had 9 fingers.
And all the rings.
I think, oh my God, I'm going to bite the whole finger off. But then I remember that I'm not an animal. And I pull the ring off with an 11 on my...
Oh, fantastic.
65 dexterity.
It's so dexterous. It's like you're removing a pearl from an oyster with a...
And I swallow it.
Oh, that's a horrible metaphor. I forget that.
Accidentally. No, presumably with an extreme success? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Immediately.
I tuck it under my tongue.
Yeah. And I think, Bjarmia, you probably can sense. I don't know, can you sense? I suppose no. Carraig-Muire, you might want to... She's over at the door, sort of...
She's buying me all the time I need. But I think I turn to you, Perregrine, and I say, it's no good. I think he's dead. And I say it quite loudly, as if to sort of go...
We're done. Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
And I turn away, and then I just spit with my extreme success. I spit the ring into my hand and show it to Perregrine as I slip it into my pocket.
I just nod gently, and I walk towards the body, and I try and shut the eyes, which feels almost...
But they just keep rotating.
Yeah.
It's like there's pupils, too many pupils. Oh my God, don't do that, Dom. No, it doesn't. That doesn't happen. So yeah, you slip the ring into your pocket, and I think the porter sort of, all right, madam, thank you. Oh my God, you're right. Are you all right, gentlemen? What's happened to Theodore? This is dreadful. I should call the constabulary immediately. Call the college authorities. Do you need assistance? Is anyone else hurt? Is he still breathing?
No, sadly not. This poor man has taken his own life.
Taken his own life. My God,
right.
He seemed so happy when he came in.
Well,
I guess you can never tell.
He had an awful lot to drink.
And, that can do it, yeah.
It seemed to trigger something.
And grew somewhat maudlin.
Well, that'll do it for some fellas. I've seen these academic types before. It was the same. I got transferred here from Oxford. I thought it'd be less stressful here. There, it's every year. They're all writing essays on their own bodies and then jumping out of windows. I thought Oster would be all right. And here we are.
You've heard about that case too. I'm intrigued by that one.
Oh, God. It's all a bit much. Can I have a drink? You got any laudanum?
There's some scotch left, not much brandy.
Right. I didn't get that guy on the way out. Was he dressed as some sort of... What was he dressed as? Big head on him? I don't know. Was it... You saw there's a fella ran out. You sure he was nothing to do with this?
What?
I freeze and...
You saw someone...
the others.
You mean this might not have been him? He was facing away from us. We assumed that he stabbed himself with the...
What?
I look at the other two desperately.
I look at the other two and telepathically say, do we need to kill this man?
Is it a woman or a man?
It's a man.
I say, surely we would have seen if there was someone else in here, wouldn't we?
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. Perhaps he was coming from downstairs. It just seemed like such a coincidence for it to be the shouting from there and then him running out. And then
what did he look like? What did he look like?
Big black cloak or something. Perhaps he had a hat on or something. He looked pointed hat or
like a costume,
something like that.
Like a costume.
Well, yes, it could have been.
Well, the amateur dramatics were rehearsing in the other room, weren't they?
Oh, what were they doing?
I don't know. They were rehearsing some awful play.
Oh. Well, maybe it was just that then.
Pew has a broken glass in his hand. It looks to me like this is self-inflicted.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, no, to me too. I mean, you were the experts. I wasn't accusing anyone of anything. I just thought that, well, I wondered if you'd seen him. But you didn't see no one run out.
I think if a man walked through here dressed as a giant owl, we'd have noticed.
Yes,
we'd have said something.
It would have forced us to make a sanity roll, I imagine.
Yeah, well, me too. I don't know what a sanity roll is. It sounds tasty, but I'm the kind of thing I'm going to eat anything for days after seeing it. Oh, God, it's horrible. Can we cover him up?
Yes, we should.
He sort of...
What's your name?
Sorry. Wilfred.
Wilfred. Yeah. I think we need to make absolutely sure that no child can enter this room for the next few hours. We need to close this down.
Oh, absolutely.
Whether there was someone unusual walking around or not, that's
You're right. You're so right. Have you checked the other room? There's
you
no
could
one
dash down to the main entrance and
I will,
make sure that everything's secure.
I mean, no
we'll hold everything
should
here.
be allowed in here anyway. There's booze there. I haven't even been DRB checked. I'll go and have a look downstairs.
You're working in a school without a proper disclosure and barring service.
Oh, they're all legal. It's 1901. Oh, they didn't even exist. I brought it up. Anyway, yes, no, good idea. Well, you'll stay with him. Oh, God, I feel bad for the poor fella. Oh, I will, yes. I'll make sure no one comes up. No one needs a fright like that. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. I'll see if there's anyone still lingering outside. I swear there was someone, big fella, but he must have been in one of the downstairs rooms. Anyway, I'll lock up. And he makes his way back out the room.
All I would say is that I immediately go to search the body for anything else. But...
Lovely. You know, after about an hour, the local constabulary... I mean, where did we decide Oster was in the end? It was out in...
It's Herewardshire, isn't it?
Herewardshire.
Herewardshire.
I had a feeling it was East Anglia.
I think we changed it, didn't we? Yeah, we changed it.
Yeah.
East Anglia.
I mean, it's a bit out in the sticks as educational premises go. But you were there for a couple of hours with the porter and trying to help him sort of make sure the place was secured and everything, make sure everyone else in the building was safe. He didn't seem to suspect you. After a while, the local constabulary turned up and basically took your statements. I think by that point you'd all agreed on what to say. I'm assuming you're sticking with the story about him having slashed his own throat, unless I'm wrong, in which case we can do a little scene.
Yeah, I think...
But what I was going to say is you were asked... If not, you were asked to stay in the college until the following day or two, not to sort of leave, which is pretty standard practice. and you were then called late the next day, maybe, to the nearby police station. Now, in the meantime, of course, you probably have had time to talk. So if you did want to foment another story, I'm happy to give you a little moment to sort of gather in someone's rooms and decide whether or not you've gone about the best way of dealing with this. Maybe that's a good idea, even if it's only a brief moment. Maybe we find you in, say, Bjarmia's rooms. I mean, she'd have
a suite.
A suite, yes, quite so. More than enough room, and also intimidating enough that probably less likely to be bothered by anyone. So I'll say you've got away, but you've been asked to stay in the college, and so you've sort of all been gathered in Bjarmia's rooms, and you're aware that you'll probably be called to make a sort of official statement before you're allowed to leave, even though you've spoken to the sort of arriving constable and everything. So yeah, we find you probably half lit. I imagine it's still quite, miserable for we're 26th of April. That's it. It's pretty wet, pretty miserable. So I imagine there's a sort of sputtering fire in the hearth, and I don't know what Bjarmia's suite's like. I can imagine it. Very Cath Kidston, I imagine.
Yes, but dark.
Oh yes, Gothic.
Lots of paisley. Lots of paisley. Dark colours. Deep purples. The whole room is like a big bruise.
Oh, well, you know what they say? Paisley makes the girls go crazily. The boys, sorry. But yeah, so there you are.
We need to get our story straight.
Yes. I can't help thinking that perhaps we were a little rash, saying that it was definitely suicide when we'd seen someone leaving the building, but now we've said that, maybe we should stick to it.
Don't fret, Perry. You did the right thing. It was acting under fire. But is it even possible a man could kill himself in that manner?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I think so. We just simply have to reassure the local constabulary that the man was quite mad, that he'd stalked us for years, he'd become obsessed with me, perhaps, sexually, and that meant that he was aware of Robert, and I think the local detective is not going to be astute enough to realise it's a ruse.
Lady Marjorie, although I agree that suggestion, it would be entirely plausible that someone might fall in love and become
then it's agreed.
I just wonder whether it might be overcomplicating the matter unnecessarily, and whether what we should do is retreat to a rather vaguer point rather than a more specific one. So perhaps if we were to say that in the cold light of day we didn't actually specifically see him cut his own throat, but he had been ranting like a madman, and we didn't see what happened, so we assumed that that's what he must have done, then that maybe covers us in case further evidence is
and leads the bear to the trap, as it were. Let them take the final step.
He did it beyond the partition. He drunk all the brandy, which is true. We haven't told the lie.
Very true. And any toxicology report would disclose as much.
Yes.
Toxicology?
Oh, it's a very fancy modern technology.
I know what it is, man. I'm surprised they'd be using it here in Ulster. That's all I'm saying.
No, you're probably
They'll
right.
certainly smell his breath. But
that's true.
And we should say that he was talking
I like it, though, Perregrine.
absolute nonsense on the run up to it. Wittering on about Robert, who's a missing person, and maybe that will make him look like he's some sort of deranged killer or something.
Or perhaps he had a guilty conscience.
Oh, he had a guilty conscience, yes, exactly. Very good.
I did lay one on him. And I think it's clear to see. Possibly we say that, and then he struggled. We tried to stop him.
Stop him. We saw him.
He struggled.
Maybe he fell over.
He was just terribly disrespectful to Lady Marjorie, and you did what any gentleman would.
Aye.
Battered the cunt.
but does it potentially put me in the line of fire regarding, No, but we could say that. We could
abuse?
say no. Yes, I mean, given Lady Marjorie's status here, I can imagine that will be very convincing, actually.
As long as we don't mention the 6-foot owl, I think we'll be all right.
At which point, there's a knock on the door.
Oh God, it's the owl!
I jump, but I do move protectively towards Lady Marjorie and look nervously at Perregrine.
Who is it?
It's Stephen, sir, porter. There's a constable downstairs wants to see you. Said you'd be expecting him.
Oh, we'd be very pleased to speak to him, of course.
It's that young Sondheim boy. He's a good fellow.
Oh, I thought it was Stevens.
I didn't ask.
Oh, Stevens.
Stevens again.
Stephen Stevens.
Oh, yes. Simon Stevens and Stephen Simons.
Simon Stevens. Sorry, Simon Simons.
I'm neither of those. I'm
Simmons.
Solomon Sondheim. But listen,
What happened
it all
to
gets very
Stephen
confusing
Seagull?
around here.
Mr. Seagull was a very good porter.
Oh, Jonathan Livingston?
No, Stephen.
He left a while back.
Stephen Seagull.
Oh.
He moved to
Stephen
Russia, I think.
I'm confused. Who's
I think that was
downstairs? What are we
pronounced
supposed to be doing?
Stefan Seagal.
May I ask how many are in there? You're not doing cocaine, are you?
Not presently, no.
No, we're not.
Oh,
we're not ill. We're not taking medicines. Who's waiting for us?
Oh, Constable Putnam, I think he said his name was.
Oh. We'll be right down.
Thank you. And you hear his sort of footsteps moving away. So you've got a last little moment to sort of...
I run a shaking hand through my hair, my thick, luscious black hair, and I just look at the bag. It's not attached to my hand, but I just look at it.
I brush my coat down and say, well, I think we answer all his questions in a very normal way, and he's no need to suspect anything.
And I say that I struck the man because he offended you, Lady Marjorie.
Yes. And
in his raving.
I spray myself with a heavy lavender scent.
And I believe
one of those bulbs, you know.
Yeah, with the long
tube. Wait. No, what about I tried to knock some sense into him? I slapped him to knock sense into him.
Well, was it a slap or a punch?
Well, they won't know that. They're police. They don't start examining the length of my knuckles to a man's face.
If our good Lord has taught us anything, Henry, it's that confession is a powerful thing, and perhaps if we give them as much truth as we can, it might act in our favour. So if you punched him, perhaps you should say as much, that you struck him. How about that?
You have a way of parcelling out words. Sometimes it's hard to know where your faith lies and where your lies are faith.
I'll ignore that.
You hear another knock at the door. Slightly loud, quicker this time. Sorry.
No, inside. We're just coming. We're just getting our shoes on.
Right. He just seems quite, not a rush, but quite anxious to get away. That's all. But
he wants us down there, does he? Or you send him up?
Wait! Shut up, Stevens. One moment, gentlemen. Would it not be better for our dynamic if we ask him to come here, to my room? You see? It's what they call it, psychological power play. Puts him on the back foot.
If you say so, if he's conducive to that doesn't bother me.
Stevens, send him up.
Yes.
Send the constable up.
The what?
Send the constable up.
Oh, the constable. Yeah. No, I'll ask. Okay. And you hear him sort of scamper off again.
Don't ask. Just send the constable up.
Right, I'll try. And he disappears. And after a small moment, you hear sort of two sets of footsteps approaching. And there's a rather slower, louder, deeper knock on the door. And a voice says, "May I come in?"
trying to deal with the memory of the death of my friend. A man who I fought beside. Abdul Bakit. He was a good man. He was shot in the throat, and I tried to staunch the wound. It was only moments, maybe 45 minutes before I ended up in that godforsaken hole. The ambush. The horror of it. Caught off our guard. None of us knew that it was going to happen. The men who died in that first volley, why wasn't it me? Why is it the man next to you? You don't know the answer to that question. None of us do. You just have to live. When I think about Pew, as the business of returning to the real world takes place, and I think, you can't die for nothing. Not another one. Who have we had now? Wagner, Keister, Pew, Robbie. They're all dying for something. Is it this helmet? This legend? This echo of Beowulf? Well, that's Marjorie's territory, not mine. Three of us, maybe we can do it together. If we stick together. Like a group of engineers building a bridge. Building a bridge of understanding. In this place of unknown questions and known mysteries, towards that place of seeing how we could do this right. No more lies. Should never have punched the man. A temper. The need to temper my temper. I need to rein myself in. How does a man do that? In the face of madness. In the face of loss. What am I fighting for? A find? A dragon in the stone, in the earth? No. My friend. That's what I'm fighting for. These are my friends. Who am I kidding? The moment I left Whitby, I've been thinking about them. I've been wondering if they're all right. I've been wondering if they're able to write a letter back or be themselves. We can do this. Those owls are out there. They're watching us. I can guarantee that. Oh, they're good at watching. But we're a unique group of people. I'm sure we can make a difference. We can dig in the earth. And we can study the skies. And we can reach back into the past. Into the age of the heroes. The legends of those who have gone before on the Whale Road. What they've seen. What they've tried to understand. It's been handed down to us. This helmet. We'll find it. I have a feeling. And then we'll make our choices. Well, then we'll prove if we're the heroes of old. Or no. But I'm sorry, Abdul. And I'm sorry, Theodore. I couldn't help you. Not in those last moments. That stays with the man. It stays with him. Thank God something stays.